Welcome to this review of conscious discipline, and in this section we will review the topic of choices. This review will show you how you can provide choices in your classroom that will help strengthen your students' problem-solving skills, strengthen their self-image, and help you and your students experience less conflict and more cooperation in the classroom. And here's how we're going to accomplish that. Let's get started with exploring the developmental rationale for giving your students choices. Children have a natural instinct to want to do things on their own. This is a developmental need children have, because in the not too distant future they will be required to make many important life-altering decisions on their own. From the time that they are several months old, children already have and want to try to feed themselves, walk on their own, put on their own clothes, brush their own teeth, and cut their own hair. This prepares them for the day when they will have to depend less and less on their caregivers and more on themselves for accomplishing everyday tasks for their own survival. We can strengthen this natural desire and need for self-directed behavior by providing students with choices. Having to decide between two or more alternatives requires them to do some pretty sophisticated mental problem solving. They have to take into consideration many factors and choose the option that best helps them meet their needs. When we don't provide choices, children are deprived of the opportunity to strengthen their own critical problem-solving skills and end up depending more and more on others, especially peers, for guidance on virtually everything, thus making them more susceptible to negative peer pressure. This is a trait that will not serve our children well as they enter the adolescent and adult phases of their lives. Providing choices is not simply a nice thing to do, it is a developmental necessity that gives children the opportunity to become proficient at problem-solving and decision-making. Additionally, elementary students are well into the phase in their development where they desire, seek out, and need more control and power over their lives. Again, this is an important developmental milestone and skill because it strengthens a sense of competency and a positive self-image. Children need to realize that they can influence their lives in positive ways. This is particularly critical for children living in very difficult and challenging circumstances. Children need control over their lives. When they don't get it, they will go after control over others or simply give up. Now let's explore the three principles for providing effective choices. The first principle in giving children choices is to give them two or more equal alternatives to accomplishing necessary classroom tasks. Threats or punishments are not genuine attempts to share control and in fact short-circuit the critical thinking process. Secondly, when making choices, be sure that you can live with either of the choices. When you give one choice you like and one you don't, resistant and defiant children will invariably go for the one that you don't like. Thirdly, remember we are providing children with genuine opportunities to think critically and experience control over their own lives. So be sure to support your children's choice equally. Children can detect when we emphasize one choice over the other and will act accordingly. So, when should we give our students choices? To answer that question, as a group, take the next 5 minutes to brainstorm instances and activities throughout the school day where you can provide choices and make a list of them on the right-hand side of your chart paper. Then, go through several of the examples and provide two or more choices for accomplishing that activity or task and jot them down on the right-hand side of your chart. Pause the video at this time. Providing choices is not something that comes naturally to most of us. And so let's do some role play. In this next activity, each person take a partner and for the next 3 minutes take turns practicing giving each other the choices on the chart. Then discuss how it felt to be given choices as opposed to just being given commands. Pause the video at this time. Before you leave, if you are the courier, please take your chart to the cafeteria. And this concludes the end of this section of the review for conscious discipline.